Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Sustar Broadcasting and the greatest podcast on the internet. What makes this podcast so great? Well, nothing really, but keep listening. Today we're going to talk about risk. So, some of you guys you guys should remember last week we talked about time and how you experience more time if you try new things. And that kind of goes hand in hand with today's topic of risk. So, what is risk? Risk is basically the confrontation of uncertainty. That's how I'm going to define it. And the key thing to realize about risk is that everything has risk. Every time you wake up, every time you get in your car, get in an airplane, every time you walk on the street, there's always a risk that something bad could happen. For example, you could get in a car crash. You could lose control of your car. Your brakes could go bad. If you're walking on the sidewalk, someone else's car could go bad and they could hit you. If you're in an airplane, the engine could go. There's all sorts of things that could go wrong. And that's a part of life. We all know this. But our society is so affluent that for many people, you can hide the risk, and people think that there's not risk. Now, part of this is insurance. We have insurance which covers most risk, so it really lessens the impact of it. And because of insurance, we can kind of hide the cost of risk. What did I click on? Oh, I went backwards. Risk image royalty free. Now you know how I got here. Okay. But, so risks are a good thing. That's what I want to say. Because if you try and avoid risks, it can cause you to become complacent. I believe there's some quote from the last century. Might have been Ronald Reagan. Well, no, Ronald Reagan said, "Freedom is always one generation from extinction." And there's a reason for that. And here's another quote. "Bad times creates good men." Yeah, good men create good times. Good times create complacent men, and complacent men create bad times. So that's what I want to talk about, risk and complacency. When you experience risk on a daily basis, it makes you appreciate what you have. If you're willing to risk everything you have to move forward, it means that you know the value of everything you have. That's the way I see it. For example, if I have... No, that's not a good example. I don't want to use that example. Let's see. How do I want to say this? If you're not willing to confront risk head on, that means you are complacent. And if you are being complacent, is more dangerous than the risk itself. Here, I have an example. Today I bought some headphones. They're kind of nice headphones. I wanted to reward myself because I'm going on a trip soon, and I wanted some sound canceling headphones for the airplane. And my other pair had lost some of its grip on my ears. And they asked me, "Do you want to buy the warranty protection for 2 years, and it's $30. Now that's a way for me to pay up front in order to avoid the risk of owning the headphones. Because there's always the risk that the headphones could break. Now, they're offering me, they're going to say, "We'll give you money, and in exchange, you won't have to face the risk. It's just $30. Now I'm cheap, so obviously I didn't buy it. But there's more to it than just being cheap. Because I understand that owning the headphones comes with risk, and I'm willing to confront the risk head on without having them be the middleman to handle the risk. Because risk, here's the key thing. Because our economy is based on capitalism and free market, risk is worth money. If you're willing to take risks, there's high upsides to it. For example, if you start a business, if you make an aggressive investment, there's upsides to it. The risk comes with rewards. So I'm willing to say, I'll pay for these headphones, and if they break, I'm willing to pay the price for them breaking. And in the meantime, I'm going to take as best care as I can in order to mitigate my own risk. And I'm going to say, I'll take the risk on my own shoulders, and I'm not going to give you guys any money. Oy, oy, oy. I don't really have a point with this podcast. I just want to talk about how important risk taking is. And you have to be able to confront uncertainty because everything's uncertain. If you're not able to confront uncertainty, you're going to become complacent. And if you're complacent, then bad things happen. You always see this in these societies where they're trying to implement these social programs through the government because the government's bad at everything. Side note, the government is bad at everything. It's not bad at everything. It's good at some things. But in general, I'd prefer handling my own risk. I don't want other people to handle my risk and have to pay for it because I know that I can handle my own money better than someone else can handle my money because I know how to deal with risk. Oh, my cat's here, Amelie. Here, come purr for us, Amelie. I'll pet your chin. The cat likes when I pet her chin. Weird cat. I rub her belly. She has this weird habit where she sits on her tail and sticks her back legs up in the air and then like licks herself. So I'll rub her belly when she's doing that. I say it gives me good luck, like the Buddha. If you rub the Buddha's belly. Oh, here's some people taking risks. Look at this. Here's a guy rock climbing. Here's someone doing this mountain bike. I bet these people live long lives because they experience a lot of new things. Oh, look at this crazy man. Man sitting. What is the title of the piece? Oh, there's the cat purring. Look at this risk taker. I would never do that. I'd be too scared. Look at, what is this? There's a nice ship. I don't know what the risk is here. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today, the importance of risk taking. And I encourage you to be willing to take risks. And I encourage you to be willing to live with the consequences of your actions. Because if everyone does that, the world's a better place. Just look at how much wealth we live in. Let me give you an example. All of the infrastructure built into our water systems, right? The amount of work that had to go into that. When the people built that, they had no clue it was going to make them money. And they did all this work. And they put so much in. And now we can become complacent with it because we're so used to having all this wealth. But all the wealth happened because of a risk. And if we're not willing to take risks and move forward, to innovate, and Elon Musk, there we go, perfect example. Elon Musk is a man who is not afraid of risk. He says, I'm going to risk everything I own to build a rocket company. What kind of crazy man is that? He built a rocket company. And then, okay, I want electric cars that are better than everyone else. All right, I'll do it. Man, and it's going to pay off big for him. That's my prediction. Tesla, actually, they have bond issues. Basically, they have finance issues, and their bonds are coming due pretty soon. They're restructuring or something in March. And if they can overcome this bond issue, they're going to be set. They're going to overtake every other car company in the world. And I'm looking forward to that because I like risk takers. This is a man who is willing to take a risk to move forward with technology, with society. He says, I want the world to be a better place, and I'm going to make the risk to make it happen, and I'm going to get filthy rich in the process. Good luck, Elon Musk. Goodbye. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week for whatever topic I talk about, and goodbye.